Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live on the Web3 Network. It's a wild day. It's like simultaneously very quiet on most of the crypto front. We have some updates, of course. It's not zero, but it's been a very quiet week, all things considered. And yet, in some alternate reality, which is real life, not what we're doing here in the Matrix, it's it's all the way turned up to 11, the crazy meter. We got Diddy, we got boats crashing into bridges, we got SBF getting sentenced right here an hour ago to 25 years in prison. That laid the foundation for a fucking crazy show and a crazy day. I got DP, Huda, Biggie Poppins, also Gifted will be joining us. I'm Nifty Q coming from the darkest room that ever existed here. So
What's
DP, yeah, I don't know. My camera's just being an asshole today. But DP,
does it reflect your mood? Is that just beaming through?
Maybe if I dived into that Diddy paper, we'll see. But anyways, DP, you start, man. What's up, GM?
Hey man, GM to everybody. I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful day on the blockchain. Everything is kind of calm right now. Who knows? Maybe we'll get another 1000x meme coin popping off here soon. Other than that, man, I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. I'm observing everything that's going on. I'm actually somewhat surprised that they gave SBF 25 years, even though I think he'll probably parole. He'll probably be up for parole in 2 years, and I'm sure he'll get it, and he'll be home at 8. That's my prediction.
All right, this message from Autism Capital here, one of the court drawings for SBF. Breaking: Sam Bankman Fried sentenced to 25 years in prison. We were doing the over-under on Say What this morning. They're all over the place. Like, a lot of people thought, oh, life in prison. Oh, he's going to freaking walk. People actually thought that he might walk today. I mean, there is a non-zero chance. There was, at least. But he's getting 25 years. There isn't, obviously, a potential for him to walk sooner than that. Usually people are out on parole a little bit sooner than the max sentence that they got. But certainly he's not in jail for life. So there is that. But Huda, crazy times, dude. Crazy last 24 hours. How are you, GM?
I'm like shell-shocked, GM, by the way. But yeah, it's like everything you said. It's like, man, there's so many individual stories that, again, are shocking that have me like wanting to focus entirely on them. Like, dive in. I got to learn all about it because it's so big and it's so impactful potentially. Like the KuCoin thing from a couple days ago, like the Coinbase thing from yesterday, like just major thing after major thing. And then at the same time, I can't feel what's our narrative, what's actually going on, what should we be talking about in the space, like what matters to degens and traders the most right now, because there's a lot. So it's crazy. Yeah, I can't wait to see where our conversation goes today because it is going to be wild. But regardless of what's going on, it's always such a treat to hang with you guys. So I'm here for it.
All right, Easy in Crypto has been joining us all the way through. Started on Say What, went through GM Web 3 just now, where we were talking about RWAs, the meme coin super cycle. We gotta break this down because Huda thinks there's a super cycle as well. So we're gonna touch on that in just a moment. Justin Casey saying, "Damn DP, why would you ever say that?"
I don't know what did I say? I just made a prediction that he'll be out on parole. I definitely think so.
Yeah, he's putting that out in the universe.
Whether he walks early or not, it's just that he never walks the same way again.
Oh my God,
dude, Huda, this man has been trying to start a DAO to, I think, take out SBF this morning. I'll say what? Yes.
He's the darkest fucker I've met in this space. And I'm shocked because he's also the sweetest, kindest person I've met in a long time. But wow.
These two extremes do exist within me, Huda.
I love that about you.
I wasn't looking to take him out. That's too kind. I want him to live a very long life. Just not walking the same way.
Just walking different. Yeah. The mental image that comes with that is something.
Yes, I know.
All right. Other than that, how are you doing, Biggie? GM taking the goggles off?
Yes, it started to like disorient me. I'm doing good, man. We had some good shows. It's been, like you said, like a little bit quiet. I appreciate these moments, but sometimes, when you're used to like just jumping from one thing to the other, I'm like looking at it, it's like, what am I supposed to do? I know I'm missing out on something. Like, what was it? I need to go back, and I'm usually pretty good at keeping lists and stuff like that. I'm sure I'll find something, but overall, it's nice that I don't have to like react to anything crazy other than the P. Diddy shit. It's all good. You know?
Yeah, we got dropped some documents, I guess, here, and they're obviously the public documents, so it's not like we're getting privy information on the back end here. But
That
yeah,
shit's wild.
That's gonna be a little much. I'll get into that post show.
Yeah, you can't even talk about that stuff in daytime broadcast. It's fucking wild stuff.
All right. No gift dead here today, so I'll take over the financial advisors piece. This is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just talking about cool shit on the internet. Do your own research. Make sure you understand that you have to do that yourself. We are not giving financial advice for you to lose or gain whatever monies that you end up doing here in the crypto space. So yes, please DYOR. This is the biggest piece from today, though. FTX founder Sam Bankman Fried sentenced to 25 years to crypto fraud. Let's see. The sentence in Manhattan federal court was significantly less than 40 to 50 years. Bankman Fried said he made selfish decisions that haunt him every day. The judge saying there's a risk that this man will be in position to do something very bad in the future, and it is not a trivial risk at all. Kaplan also said the purpose of disabling him to the extent that can appropriately be done for a significant period of time. So it looks like, we were having this conversation on it looks like they went the Ross Ulbricht route. Like a lot of people were expecting, hey, 2 years, this guy's going to be on the streets very soon. I think they're using him as an example, right? Like the U.S. attorney came out, put out a post saying Sam Bankman-Fried lied to the American public, did all these things. He was a fraud, and look at me giving my shiny medal, and look, we're protecting you guys.
I think I personally think they did that to kind of like appease the public because it was such a high profile case. So they delivered that sentence to appease the public. Now, if he got 25 without the possibility of parole, then that would be something. But I can almost guarantee you 1,000% that they're gonna appeal that sentence. And I'm sure he's gonna get out on parole. And he'll probably do about 4 years, maybe, if we're lucky. And then they'll give it time to die down and for people to get used to him being locked away, and then he'll be on his way home. Just like Do Kwon.
Right back to doing the kimchi hustle, right? He'll make his millions, launch another fund, and we're off to the races. How fucking cool.
Just in case question. All those years, no one talked about those underground tunnels from the Playboy Mansion. Then suddenly P. Diddy buys a mansion with access, and now he's under investigation. Huda, go ahead.
Is that a real thing? The tunnels? I never heard of those.
I don't have enough energy. I got enough things going on to worry about Playboy tunnels.
I just love that they're like, we always thought that there's this whole seedy world like up there, like you just assume, but it's kind of cool knowing that it's not cool. It's the wrong way to say it, but like just knowing that is a real thing. Like it's as dirty as you would think it would be.
Mm-hmm. It's like it goes back all the way back to like the Chaplin days, right? Like Hollywood has an underbelly that's as crazy as anything in Chicago or New York. Usually we associate it with those places, but no. Hollywood has some dark fucking skeletons in their closet.
Is it because they feel like they're untouchable, like politicians 100%. And stuff?
Money,
like,
yes,
dude, the power and influence that some people wield in these positions is, I don't know, like they say, like some stuff, is it the money or the power that goes first? I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. For me, it's definitely brought up like some very important questions, about Notorious and Tupac and all these things that I always want to fucking know about, and that I'd kind of give up about, right? Like I don't pursue these to the end of the world, but that's the first thing that came into my mind when I saw that. I was like, God damn it! Now I really need to know. Like, come on, motherfucker,
Okay.
All right, so I want to get back really quick to this SBF piece. I feel like a Diddy episode could span the entire hour. There's a little bit of I'm just kind of like sleuthing the internet here, and people are talking about whether he does have parole, right? So that one of the comments saying SBF's 32, 25 years isn't a death sentence, parole available after a third of the term. Realistically, he won't serve 100%. no parole, but his sentence can be produced or reduced. There is a possibility of parole in federal. There is no possibility of parole in federal criminal cases, but Bankman Fried can shave off his time with good behavior. SBF may serve as little as 12 and a half years if he gets all of the jailhouse credit available to him.
Yeah, he can get in the drug program. That'll knock his sentence down too. And yeah, so I stand corrected. There is no parole. That's completely correct. So yeah, I was a dummy for that claim, OGL or log, however you say your name. But yeah, but no, I definitely think he'll get a reduced sentence though. I definitely don't think he's gonna serve the whole 25 or even like 85%.
No way. Unless the DAO happens, then I don't know. Where did
I have questions though.
Go?
Okay, like tell me, I don't know if I'm naive, right? Okay, so like, God, I hate to compare these two, but Beanie. I've always felt like that Beanie is a good guy that, you know, like has probably done some shady stuff, but good guy that is genuinely like intentions are good. I also have felt like that about SBF, that things like his story, right? That things just got out of hand and he couldn't figure out how to fix it. And it's just like these things snowball. Am I wrong about that? Like, I don't like
yes,
he went in with intention
completely.
and purpose to steal money, fuck people over in the most, you know, any way possible. Or did he start with good intentions?
It very early on, I think it switched up. He got caught up.
The world think they're doing the greater good, Huda. That doesn't exempt them, in my opinion, from how they act and what they do. And Beanie, don't get me started. Like, I do not like that guy whatsoever. I do think he's very conscious of the things that he does, right? And he knows what it's going to happen and the consequences that he might do, but he doesn't give a shit. So I don't know. It doesn't absolve him to me. Marty is here.
Yes.
But I just look at the way SBF acted after the whole debacle was revealed, right? After this whole thing hit the fan, and I can't say we were there with him day to day, but whenever we did see him make public appearances and hear about some of his antics, he didn't seem very remorseful. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was remorseful and just had a hard way of expressing it, because he does seem a bit socially awkward. Also,
a little bit.
Yeah, it's
so it was a question. It was more like a question, or like I'm curious. Like, I really am curious if he's just a super villain.
I don't think he started FTX with the intention of like, I'm gonna rob all these MFers. But I think very, very early on there wasn't a decision made against becoming a villain. You see what I'm talking about? Like, he very easily fell into that role. And those are the decisions you make. You know, sometimes you just you have the opportunity to either not do something or do something. It just fell into your, like, FTX. Here's the one thing I'll add to this FTX piece too, is a guy like Marty and people that are kind of, you know, more along the conspiracy theory front, is that FTX got propped up by a cabal, right? So in that theory, 100%, he already went in as either the fall guy or having clear conviction on, hey, we're gonna prop up this exchange that's eventually gonna fuck people up. But Biggie, what's your thought?
Yeah, I just think he could. He really thought he could never fail. He could do no wrong. He could take people's money. Nobody would be the wiser, and he'd be able to triple, quadruple the funds like he had been doing the whole time. The issue there was that he people like that have no time to, I feel like they think that it's petty to even consider or stop and, consider the consequences. To them, like their altruism, their so-called belief in their mission is just so far superior from all of us that we don't deserve consideration. Like, it's a waste of time. And so when he decided to embezzle those funds to whatever the hell he was doing, he crossed that line, and you broke the law, and now off he goes. We'll see how it plays out in the end. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Huda, in that regard. It's like, I don't think he set out to be a fucking villain or a malicious person, but unfortunately, he is one,
Yeah.
and he does not have the capacity to recognize it, right? And
Okay. You know what? Maybe to get more specific, like the
same fucking way,
Yeah. Okay. So, is it like that he got so deep with something is so broken, he fucked up so bad that he had to make equally bad, fucked up decisions to try to fix that, or was it that he leaned in? He's like, fuck
he
it.
leaned into it.
He didn't lean away.
He didn't lean away.
Yeah, and then like they say, man, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So even though the intentions started out good, after a while he started getting fucked up on that coke and that Adderall and all them fucking. He was partying. Like I got Diddy, you know, they were having parties up at the fucking high rise,
similar,
you know, and listen, even the way he ran his operation, the employees were talking about how he was forcing them to put all their money into the fund as well and shit, and so there was a bit of, he knew what he was doing. You know, after a while, when shit starts to spiral out of control, after a while, you just kind of say, fuck it, and we know what we're doing, and let me start, you know, funding some of these campaigns and running shit like the mafia, you know, trying to pad myself for when this shit eventually does hit the fan, you know. So yeah, I'm not really convinced that it was just one of those big things. It was just a whole big old misunderstanding. Yeah, you understood after a while.
Yeah, give me the loot saying you can always make the right decisions. Doesn't matter how you start. He made the decisions. His actions are all you need to know, not his intentions.
Yep.
Which at the end of the day, it's like you're an adult. You know, like this was a really, 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 really fucked up situation, and it comes down to him and the brass that was there. So he should have gotten life. He should have gotten life in prison for what he did. Yeah. Like to be fair, he should have. It's just
he ruined a lot of lives.
We used to do way worse things to people. I'll just say that for way less back before civilized society. You know, going the Biggie Poppins route of getting the Dow together and all that stuff. We used to do way more things to these type of people that fuck up this bad. Okay, so we got some other things that aren't SBF related here that we're going to touch on.
Hunter S. Thompson. I don't know who Hunter Thompson is.
What?
What
is it?
The famous writer, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like
dude. One of the coolest things you'll ever see, coolest / most degen shit you'll ever see is his day. It roll out of bed 4:30 a.m. or no, maybe it was like no, he rolls out of bed at like 12:30 p.m. and takes a shot of cocaine, first cigarette. And then he does a little whiskey, and then he takes another line of cocaine
out in the fucking open field.
He's one of these booger sugar bender bandits.
The original.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So again, Marty's bringing in the cabal connection here with a lot of this stuff. Even SBF and Diddy being connected. There we go. We're putting it together right now. Real quick, Huda, I do have to run in about 5 minutes, folks. These fine folks will get up here. I think we do have Gift Dead hopping in here today, but he's saying his internet has been down for a little while. So blockchains by volume here, Immutable making the list, but also down 79%. We do have Polygon staying in that top 5, Solana doing well. Bitcoin looks like it overtook Ethereum overnight as well. Huda, you know, you're covering the space. What have you seen here in the last 24 hours? I know it's been slow.
Yeah, nothing wild. What kind of caught me or stood out was buyers ramping up across chains, and specifically, it's not from a project that really matters. That's not on my radar in any way. But there's this cross-chain NFT collection. It's called is it like Layer 3 Cube or Web 3 Cube, something like that. But man, like tens of thousands of buyers, again, on Binance, on Polygon, I believe on Avalanche too. And it's like some kind of authentication protocol, and also like an educational platform too. So I thought that was interesting. Like, I like to look for what does stand out. That stood out.
Is there a name? Did you find the name?
Yeah. In fact, if I'm on the site now, I'm gonna toggle over to Polygon and find it. But again, I just look for things that are just out of the ordinary, and that sure was. And again, our highest buyers in about a month here. So thought that was kind of cool. Otherwise, though, dude, it's just like we were saying from the start, like just not a lot of strong narratives coming out. Other than, dude, I'm starting to feel like art is about to cycle back in here. Like I'm feeling that the Spidey sense is tingling, which I love.
Why?
Layer 3 Cube is what it's called. Why? Okay. Cents over on Bitcoin is giving me a little that feel for sure. Seeing some big art sales like the Coldie sale. I can't remember the name of the piece, but a secondary sale, a 45 ETH sale for Coldie, which was beautiful to see. Claire Silver, really heated debates there about her art and and maybe some cultural appropriation and whatever people think of that right there, right? Whatever they think, seeing heated, passionate takes on art and getting like really the whole space engaging in this conversation. I think people would ignore it when art is not kind of like back in cycle. But also she is a drop that launched today, not her work, but a curated released with Transient Lab. So all these things coming together makes me feel like everybody's gonna be looking at art here, and I love it. It's my favorite part of the space.
Nice.
You feel, you're an art guy, dude. Are you feeling any of that?
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I've also seen it like on these alt chains, like some people starting to like shift their focus from like what, you know, like the meme coins in those alt chains and looking for like culture plays or like little interesting kind of like open editions by artists and stuff like that. We definitely seen it on base, right? Like shout out OXBK, is it, in our channel? Like he called out primitives like early, and those have done phenomenally well. Like I think there's something behind it too, right? Because like some of these like adopted culture plays in these altcoin chains are starting to benefit because they get like airdrops, right? Like certain access to beta like platforms and stuff like that. So I have been seeing like a little bit of that, like some gumshoeing going around. And I'm telling you, like, this is like in alt chains like called Venom and in Aptos and in like other stuff. So people are definitely out there. Like I feel like, especially after what happened with Blast and the exploit and everything, like, you know, even though it's locking up your liquidity for longer, right, for when you're collecting an NFT, like if you pick the right one, it can also be like pretty stable, right? Like a pretty sure bet, especially if it's followed up with maybe some airdrops and some preferential, like maybe you see value there where it's like, I've definitely been in that camp over on Blast, right? That's the one thing that I haven't had a qualms gambling on, since the whole fucking chain is a gamble, right? It's like, hey man, like certain of these NFTs, like I'm looking at the builders, I'm looking at like, as long as they don't seem too Ponzi-ish, I'm like, hey, I'll take a punt. And I've been doing that through Mintify, which gets me gold points and all kinds of other, it's like a triple layered points generating thing that I've been playing around, and it's not too complex, it's pretty direct and it's simple, but it's been working for me. I've been looking for the same thing on Blast, and like I said, I have been like looking at like Aptos and like some of these like move tokens as of late, been exploring that ecosystem. But you do see this primary focus on JPEGs, right? Like maybe, yeah, people are a little bit tired of the coins, maybe, I don't know.
It's feeling, yeah, it kind of feels that way. Like it's just funny. It happens organically. It's like you can do something for so long, and you know, as long as you're profiting, you're going to do it. But even at some point, you do get a little just tired of the same thing. And so that's really why we get these cycles. Like at some point, art does feel fresh again. At some point,
and if you
NFTs
find
feel
something
fresh
that
again.
resonates, right? Like if something is done intentionally and with good taste, like people can sometimes recognize that, and they like these communities like sprout out, right? Like it can be like a grassroots thing, but sometimes you do look at it and you're like, hey man, if this is a flourishing ecosystem that's going to be around for potentially a couple of cycles, you know, and people enjoy playing here, and there's some builders rocking particular, you know, PFPs or showcasing some interesting art, like, hey, maybe like I want to take a punt on that. Plus it's also usually like a little more accessible. It gives you some insight if there are people that are big players in that chain. So there's something there, right, to excavate, I would say. Like there's that, I think, like that need for humans to go in and collect and find like the next new shiny thing, right? And
okay, hold on. Let's jump back into that combo. I have to leave, and I wanted to get a quick run through lightning of the things that I had on the list. You can feel free to jump in, but I do have to run the next 2 minutes. Parallel did announce a $35 million funding round. That's big. Prime Token doing well off this announcement. That's only going to get them more runway to just create one of the better games in NFTs in crypto right now. Jesse Pollock with the days to 1.23 billion TVL, 203 days for 1 bill, 23 days to 2, and it took them a grand total of 5 days to get to 3 billion TVL. So based on a run here, I'm not on Farcaster. You guys had the Farcaster discussion after I'm gone, but it looks like DGen is up pretty well. And then the last piece I had, and you guys could, you know, again, feel free to talk about this here. any one of those. I just need to speed through it. Arbitrum and Mizuki, I guess, are teaming up to launch what is called the Anime Chain, a Web3 network dedicated to anime fans. So big news from the Arbitrum front, which we haven't seen a lot on, to be fair.
Well,
but
crazy with Arbitrum. You got to bounce, right?
I got to bounce, fellas.
Cool, man.
Great to see you.
Enjoy.
All right.
Appreciate y'all. Gift should be hopefully
Take
running
care,
in.
man.
I hate to do this here without the other. Yeah. Okay. Sounds
Gotcha.
good,
bro.
Peace.
So
Take it easy.
Check this. I think as he was leaving, he was saying we haven't seen a ton on Arbitrum. I don't know if I heard that right, but I think Arbitrum is doing something really interesting, right? So now we got this Azuki anime chain. We've got Ape Chain potentially that's going to be on Arbitrum. I think that's where the Ape coin DAO voted. Decrypt, they're also using Arbitrum as their chain. So it's like all of a sudden that has really bubbled up to become like a core chain.
Who else I've seen adopting Arbitrum a lot is AI.
Man, hopped on from the phone.
Makes it work however he can.
End of the hour.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
can hear you.
All right, I'm here.
We're talking about Arbitrum and how it's not dead yet, and actually some people are adopting it and picking it up as a potential dark horse candidate in these EVM relevancy times, right? I agree with you, Huda. I see a lot. I know Morpheus is launching their token on Arbitrum, and I think IO.net also, right? DP, I think. So I do see like AIs and like decentralized compute protocols like adopting it. So something to keep an eye on.
Well, I gotta ask then, why did Pixel Vault leave Arbitrum? Why are they moving Battle Plan? I know they're on Arbitrum Nova, and I don't know what the distinction is there. If that's like a layer 3, like off of Arbitrum, but it's just interesting that they left it because they said it couldn't support their volume. And since that announcement, we've had nothing but news of people moving to Arbitrum. Something's not like, clicking there for me.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it can be two things, right? Like, it can be an engineering decision, right? Like where the engineers there for whatever reason don't find the tools adequate and they want to go somewhere else where they think they can perform that. I know, like, we're having that over in Say right now with one of our like leading AI artists / AI tech devs, like leaving Say for Soul because he finds that at least what he tells the people there, the community, is that like some of the tech is lacking, right? I wouldn't discount the idea that also there's a ton of liquidity over on Solana, right? I think that's a smart like funnel way to launch that. It doesn't rub me the wrong way, but maybe that's also the case why the Pixel Vault is leaving, right? Where there's definitely not the same level of attention at the moment that there is on Blast or on Base, right? But that can change quick. We know that. All it takes is a crazy meme coin, like some crazy win, some innovative platform, something making hype, and it'll light up. So I'm definitely not discounting Arbitrum and Optimism for that matter. They've been there building, right? And like some of these tokens like Base are based on the Optimism stack. So, they think they're contenders. They're just not in the running at the moment, or they're not in center stage.
Yep. And they haven't announced where they're going to, I don't believe. So it's like if they go to Immutable X, it's like, good move, probably. You probably can't go wrong on either place. So I'm still waiting to hear that. I'm curious. But yeah, again, just Arbitrum kind of impressing me with all these. It seems like just one announcement after another and big projects. So good to see.
Yeah.
Saw another little
What's
report here. I don't
poppin',
want to
man?
move this on yet, but I'm going to drop something in DMs for you guys that I thought was pretty interesting about Pudgy Toys. So again, it takes us off topic here, but setting that up.
What's
Dude,
going on, Gift?
Yeah, how you doing, Gift, man? It's good to see you.
I mean, I'm frustrated because my internet's literally been out all fucking morning. It's not usually this much of a problem, and I'm trying to learn the like restream interface for my phone right now, so I'm just having fun.
I can't
messing
imagine that's
around.
easy. Good to see you, though.
Thanks, man.
Sarah sends you GMs, but only to you. None of us. We're
Oh.
snubbed. Dang.
I mean, look, sometimes
That's
you gotta
one
like that.
gift and all
What's
the-
up, Sarah?
Are you holding the previous space against us, Sarah? We were just joshing around. We were
What did I
playing.
miss there?
Oh, nothing. We just had a bit of a discussion around.
Well,
these
the
tokens.
Q's not here, so if you guys want to bring that part up, it's like discussion on real world assets and meme coins, I believe, something of the sort.
Yeah,
I heard the super cycle comment. That's what I. It's just
I did not
Biggie.
make a super cycle comment.
Okay.
Who did that? Who's in control
Couldn't
now?
have been GIF.
Give
I'm learning how to mess with the restream over here. So
I
apologies.
I see.
It's just weird on
Uh,
mobile.
But yeah, going back to what you were commenting on, Huda, on that like spidey sense feeling that you think we're about to go into another art cycle times. I want to continue discussing that. What do you think, Gif? I know you recently bought into primitives. Did you end up keeping a hold of one, or did you flip out of all of them?
Don't tell me the floor kept going up.
I don't want to know, but it was like an ETH or something, right? Like 1
Oh
point.
no. Are you serious?
Yeah, you didn't hold on to that. I take it.
Bruh.
But yeah, I mean, there'll be more. I did notice, like, for example, right off the back of that, like with primitives, like a lot of base JPEGs pumped, right? Some of them are like promising. We were talking about like the possibility of airdrops, but a lot of people looking for those culture plays and different altcoins, and like, because they're not 100% defined yet, I think like you're seeing some artists try to take a swing at getting that right, like the Node Monkeys and Quantum Cat play over on Bitcoin that we saw. Like these chains usually want to have their own cultural PFP that represents people in that community, right?
I got 2 primitives and flipped them obviously too soon if they kept running, and then I have a based fella right now, so we'll see what happens.
I heard of those. Yeah, those were one of the first ones, right?
Yeah,
that's dope. Nothing over on Blast.
I just got the Blast Rocks, man. I'm not like, I don't know, man. Like some of the early projects I just don't think are like that interesting or cool, but I know that there's a lot of like DeFi in them. I just haven't maybe spent enough time. Like I know like Blastopians and some of those are all like staking plays, and they'll probably do okay. I have this aesthetic bias when it comes to NFTs that holds me back a lot of times from getting into things that are probably beneficial, because I don't really like the project aesthetically. So I don't know. I haven't spent enough time probably, or seen enough NFT action on Blast to get me like really excited yet.
I feel you. It's something to keep track of. I just feel I want to see. What I'd like to see is like a different take on like a PFP or art on like some of these newer chains, right? Like kind of like what we've been talking about with Brainworms, right? Like Brainworms has that potential, right? To be like something very different. And when you see them, you'll clearly say like, oh, that's a base 404 PFP, and oh, that's a really rare one. Like you probably don't ever want to sell those tokens because you don't ever want to lose the opportunity. Like these things are very hard to roll into, right? Or so.
Biggie, yeah, like I really think I think 404s are still going to be a big deal. Like I don't think we're seeing even a fraction of what they're going to be, but it is. I'm glad you said that. I think it is on the other chains where they really live up to that potential, because it's so much cheaper probably to re-roll them, and that's why I look at people using them. So, man, I would love to see 404s do just huge numbers to make that like their home over on Blast. I think that'd be wild. Base makes a ton of sense, man. GIF, I'm glad you put that on my radar yesterday, the Brainworm, because I'm into it, dude. Like that looks absolutely perfect. And like, hey, maybe that's the one. Maybe that is the one that finally helps, get to that next level here. Maybe I adjust my predictions where, I compared it to Turbo, I think yesterday, just because it is a 404, and to me it's different. People still don't think of them quite like a meme coin, but maybe one of these does actually turn into that at some point. So yeah, watching that one.
Well, yeah, and I give credit to Biggie for putting it on my radar too, but I agree with what you said, and that's that initially my take on 404s was that there's something interesting with the innovation. I just want to see some legit builders and operators do something really innovative and interesting with it. This to me falls in that category of something really innovative and interesting. And again, it's got all those key narratives. So check out Brainworms if y'all haven't already. We talked about it on the show. Huda talked about it on his 5-minute morning inside NFTs, and I don't know, it looks fascinating. Dude, man, and there's a lot to it, like Biggie every time we talk about it, Biggie wants to dive into the lore because there's stuff to it.
Well, and honestly, like I will bring this up, like I my approach to them initially was a lot more casual. Like I've been in Stellar Crispin's freaking Discord forever for the Dell Complex stuff, and this was initially for me something that was like, oh man, cool, different. The 404, whatever, it rang true. And I was like, okay, I'm in there already, and like you got that boost. So I was like, I'm gonna send something, and I put it in the Discord. And then you guys, like, actually, when we started having a discussion yesterday, I kept going into it a little more, and just like you, afterwards, I was like, I'm gonna send some more. Like this has potential, but I think the benefit I'm trying to highlight here is again that hive mind. Leverage that you have here with a community that I very much appreciate. That sometimes, like, you have other people give you their takes and their reactions and help you also with finding either like the conviction that you might need, or maybe or like double take in that. Like for me,
give the TLDR on brainworms again for easy.
All right, man. So TLDR, Sterling Crispin is a really well-known art blocks artist. I don't know if you've recalled or seeing him, but like you can look up his Twitter. He's done several drops already. Really smart dude. I met him over in Marfa last year, and like I got onboarded into his latest project. It's called Dell Complex. It's really cool if you like just mystery tinfoil, like rabbit hole type of stuff, right? And the guy it's really cool because he's very knowledgeable. He's worked with like Apple on like neuro fucking transplant AR shit, like wild stuff, right? And his work is always really fucking crazy cool like that, right? And so we saw him post and share with us that he's coming up with a 404 project on base for brainworms. I saw the video, and like everybody else here probably like chuckled and was like, what the fuck is this? And that's how that was my intro. Immediately I was like, okay, I'm gonna ape into this too. I own some of his Dell Complex pieces as well, so I'll be getting like some type of bonus there too. But honestly, it was until I brought it up to the community on Discord and like I started seeing other people's reactions about it and takes that I hadn't considered, that I was like, hey man, like, maybe you don't want to be so fucking timid with this one. He's definitely like a really smart dude. So I have no doubts that like, as far as like, he's got the execution chops to pull this off. And not only that, but like, I feel like he's got that vibe. Like you say, like he's a very different artist. And right now, with the metas that are playing out, like, yeah, it's got potential. And so, yeah, I would encourage you to check it out, Easy. It's pretty dope. Just look at the video. The video will tell you everything you need to know about it. There's going to be some gamification involved in it, which I also think it's really cool. Yeah, man. So you aped into this also, huh, Huda?
I haven't yet. I definitely want to.
I plan on it too. As soon as we get off stream, I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing.
Right up my alley, dude. What did Sterling Crispin? He went viral, and this was probably like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, something like that. Like I'm trying to remember what it was for. I think he wrote like a really good thread on AI, just general like AI usage.
Right. I think that's where he talked about IO.net and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, and he's the guy to do it. He is the guy to school everybody else on why these things are applicable for crypto and why like we should be looking at them.
Hold on, Kerry, I can't post but you know what, I need to go to the freaking video, but I can't post links, but it's Dell Complex, DEL, and then the word complex.com. You can find out about brainworms.
Yeah, we're all gonna get worms in our brains. That's hilarious. And everybody's like obviously like following up on this about like how you like administer these worms, whether it's like through and like they use all the right terminology, like nasally through the muci, blah blah blah, or do you like immediately like just mainline them into the cerebral cortex? I think somebody was commenting there like whether you could administer them rectally, which I thought was pretty fucking funny. Like,
wow.
AI take
You know
Jeremy,
what?
your ass.
we aren't aping into anything. We aren't aping into anything. We are exploring and covering and looking into brainworms, because this is not financial advice, my friend.
That's
So,
right.
Thank you,
Good to see you,
don't
by the
need-
way, Rebel.
DP just
Okay.
took me out of. Thank you, brother. Saving people every day.
Yeah, man, gotta avoid those losses.
Doing the Lord's work. But so I was looking through Sterling's profile. I was trying to find like the viral tweet. Dude, he's got multiple tweets that have gotten like 1.5 million views. So like this dude is like certainly getting his shit out there.
Yeah, he's well
surprised.
regarded and respected. And then there's some other stuff that I spoke about in the other show you can go check out, but like that have happened with his Dell Complex project, which is pretty cool.
Damn, here's one that's got like 7.5 million. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
impressive.
you know,
10 million on one. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, dude's making some waves out there. Cool shit. Good dude. Like really good dude. I'm excited. Like, you know, some projects out there I'll get into just for the founder, just for the person behind it. And he's one of them. He's one of them. Like the fact that the project itself sounds awesome and innovative is icing on the cake. Like that's a guy I just support. So this is perfect. And also, so I saw it's too late to get that like 20% bonus if you get into the pre-sale or whatever. So too late for that, but it is still open to actually get into the
I don't know
pre-sale.
what the deadline is, but yeah, announced for April 3rd. Give me the loot. I believe it is for the beta, right? Like if you send funds beforehand, you get access to the beta. But I think it's the beta and then the main launch. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh wow.
I'm excited because like he's taking it, like he's adding all these different layers to it, right? You know, and this PvP one I think can be really interesting. You know, if we can like end up having like you know, worm fights, that would be hysterical, dude.
Yeah, I
That'd
can't
be
like
dope.
like conceptually I don't even understand what it's where it's going, what it's going to look like, and maybe that's because nobody does yet. But I can't wait to find out because he's a friggin' weirdo. I love that. By the way, Lou just dropped in here something we've been waiting on for a long time. Wormhole looks like that's coming on April 3rd.
Oh, that
Wormhole
it's,
Wednesday.
it's about time. It's about time. And I got a nice little allocation.
Oh,
Nice. How do you get an
Nice.
allocation for that?
Just use Portal and some of the other bridges that's built on top of it.
Man, I'm like, I'll be honest, I'm getting frustrated with how little time I get to spend like being a degen. Like I miss it, and I really miss like the wins you get from it, right? Like, man, that's big
all
old
of
deal,
us,
I
man.
think.
That's all of us, brother. Especially at the beginning of the of this pre-bull run. Well, we're kind of like at the beginning of the bull run now, but during the pre-bull, it was basically us chasing airdrops, man, and missing out on shit, especially like the juke drop that happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it was crazy. I missed that. I missed a bunch of drops.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, and some of them you just qualify out of a fluke, right? Like you ended up using something once, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, dude, I qualify. That's
we
awesome.
need way more of those. I love those.
Yeah,
Like you didn't even know you did something, but boom, here's a couple grand.
Well, that's kind of how Portal is, right? Or a wormhole is, because when you try to bridge over assets and you naturally use one of the bridges that's built on top of wormhole, it adds up. And that was my case. I needed somewhere to bridge at the time, and I'm like, well, shit, let me just use Portal. And it added up. But also, man, another thing I wanted to cover too, one thing that Squash reminded me of is that Ink is dropping today.
Yeah. You guys got whitelist?
No.
Oh, damn. Same. That was a really hard
I was
one
about to say,
get.
do you have something for us?
I wish, dude. They're probably all gone at this point, I'm assuming, right?
Of course. Yeah.
I'll say
Was
this.
that like raffles, like you just had to get lucky, or was it the type that where you have to like hop on
They
one
were grinding the
foot and
Discord.
bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any grinding. It was a lot of getting whitelist through collab projects and stuff. I ignored it entirely. I didn't think it was. I read it wrong. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal at all. And again, totally blew that one because that's certainly the one.
Let's see. Do you think it's for sure minting out?
Yeah,
I think it will. Yeah. But the thing is, what I think they were smart about is that they cooked it until you couldn't deny the hype. So because it's been months, bro. I remember getting into that Discord months ago, And even before then, even before I got into the Discord, it was already a packed house. So they've been prolonging it, and they were supposed to launch. I want to say they were supposed to launch a few months ago, and they just kept, stalling it out, slowly releasing artwork, kind of letting the hype build up, and now they're finally ready to release it. So I think it's been a bit. The hype has been they kind of let themselves kind of teeter over into overall bullishness on the price.
And maybe it was a smart move on their end, right? Like, because the ordinals market right now is so hot, right after the sentiment and all that sentiment is really good. Like,
well, am I remembering correctly? The person behind that project is also on the Magic Eden team. Does that sound right? Because I know there was a perk for this, or there was some kind of whitelist, bonus chance for using their wallet, and I really felt like that is from a Magic Eden employee.
Really?
I don't think they're on the Magic Eden team. I think Magic Eden has just been very supportive of hype ordinals projects. And so projects that are, and I could be wrong. They could very well be somebody on the Magic Eden team, but I don't necessarily remember that being like a huge catalyst.
Yeah. I don't think it was like a strong message there. I gotta look. I'm super curious about that. Not that it matters, but damn,
but Magic Eden has been very supportive. They've seen themselves as like the ordinals marketplace.
They are,
right,
dude.
Now.
So smart people who saw that opportunity to get into the Bitcoin ecosystem somehow, some way early. It does numbers for man. I guess even exposure, and it's exactly what we did at Crypto Slam. We saw ordinals we saw what it would turn into quickly, and we made sure to get that integrated on the site ASAP. I think there was nobody that had it before us, and they did the same. They were like, okay, maybe there's some kind of marketplaces out there, but huge opportunity right now to get everybody using our marketplace, and they went for it. And it's the only place I really buy ordinals now.
Where Crypto Slam or Magic Eden?
Magic Eden.
Yeah, and because I think the only places, the most popular places, I think you have Magic Eden and you have OKX. OKX is it's a shit show over there. It's complicated to use. It's clunky when it comes to buying ordinals. But yeah, Magic Eden is doing the damn thing, man. I definitely see them being, even if they aren't ended up being a premier marketplace for all NFTs, they definitely have the ordinals NFT game on lock right now.
Have you, Huda, looked into some of these art collectives or stuff that like have been building over time? Like I really haven't gone too deep into the rabbit hole yet, but there's quite a few. There's The Function, Etcher, Ordinal Nexus, Odazar, like that are like about to like launch either their some of them are taking the proof style build, right, where it's like passes. Others are, I'm not sure, like just markets, like the curational ones.
Yeah, I've not, and I've always wanted to. Even one like
your camera went out. Your camera went black.
Oh yeah.
Just hold on. Something happened. I'll connect it again.
But yeah, okay. So, but to answer, I mean, I'll just answer anyways for right now. I want to, like, I like collecting art. I have some friends who, kind of collect art, but I really want to go deep in it because, okay, I'll be honest. Yes, as a collector, I like collecting art, but man, you see the prices those high-end art pieces go for, and I want to get in on that, man. Yeah. I've always wanted to get in on those like 40, 50, 75 ETH sales. Like, who doesn't?
Yeah, and I think right now for ETH and the Ordinals project is like the generative art scene is really one to pop off. It's just and it's interesting because even the launch price is always seen as somewhat exclusive. Like, you really got to be believing in some of those artists, because I know, like, I haven't really seen a generative art piece that's worth its weight in anything launch for anything under like a couple ETH, right? But then the thing is, you purchase for those couple ETH and you end up by the end of the year, and I guess I'm gone too. Well, I mean, I guess
you're there. No, I'm here.
Who is that? Is that
GIF is clearly still here and just fucking around having a good time. We'll take it.
Fucking around with the camera angles, but no, yeah, man. And you end up, the next thing you know, like within a year or whatever, you end up being at 150 ETH or something in a generative art project. It's amazing.
Yeah. By the way, so Loot here mentioning my game over on Tezos. People probably don't know, but like that was my that was my domain. I fucking
I have some
dominated that.
Tezos pieces. I haven't checked on them in years, but I
Dead,
have
dude.
some.
That it's to me that's so soul crushing, the fact that Tezos is fucking dead. And again, like I talked to Roger Dickerman a couple of weeks back on the Little Nouns show, and he said it too. He's like, I hate to say it, like it's really unfortunate, but yeah, I do think Tezos is dead. But has me thinking, like, man, I'm a big Zancan collector. Do I sell those pieces? Well, maybe there's some value to them. I mean, dude, I don't like having to, face those kind of questions, but I'm considering all that. Like, do I liquidate? Just do I sell every fucking piece of art I have on Tezos?
No.
I am considering it. I would like to see those artists offer some kind of teleburn. I don't hear you though, Biggie. But I'd like to see them offer some kind of burn or remint over on ETH or on Bitcoin. That would be awesome. And I think they'll have to face that question here soon at some point, because it's just not looking good over there.
Yeah, they should do something. A lot of those projects should kind of like try to migrate the artwork, just for the sake of the holders, man. Because like I said, I had pieces. I've every time we mention Tezos, I miraculously remember that I actually have stuff on Tezos, but I always forget. And I hope that I even remember like where all of that shit is. I think it's in my Tezos wallet or whatever wallet I was using. I think what was it, Uri or something like that.
So they got Kukai. They have
that's what it
Temple.
was. Kukai, my Kukai wallet.
Can
Yeah, it's
you
in
hear
my
me?
Kukai wallet.
Yeah, I got you now,
hear
Biggie.
you.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, shit, what's going on now?
That was rough.
Yeah, that was rough. It was, but yes, I was gonna say Teleburn, bro. Teleburn. Would you really? I mean, I cringe to even look at my bags, also, right? But like, what could you get for them right now in Tezos value? Where I think like the risk reward of just teleburning them over to Bitcoin is just far greater, man. Like the good ones, the ones that are gonna do well. Like I don't know if you saw though, you were talking about Tezos, and I checked out because Jared Paz from 8NAP announced his first project, and the people involved. I'll send you the link here. Is Rich Pool and Rick Crane and Rich Pool, man.
Oh, nice.
Which is like the dynamic duo. Like I think this is going to be like their third collab. I own two Acequias over in Tezos, and I'm really excited to see what they come up with this time around. It's a great way to stop this.
I like those guys. I've not found that many of those artists who I got to know on Tezos, and I'm saying it like that because I don't know that they started on Tezos, but my feeling is that's where they kind of, grew their basic collectors. I've not really seen that translate to, big numbers over on ETH. Zancan may be the exception, but also maybe not now because his whole thing changed once he started, minting these massive supplies. But I'm trying to think of a Tezos artist who has, grown their name there, who's come over to ETH and done very well. And I can't think of any. In fact, the guys who started on ETH then went over to Tezos, right? And then came back to ETH, did fine.
I mean, the main one would be Mapan, right? William Mapan has done fucking amazing, and he was originally a Tezos artist. I think there are
originally ETH, and then Tezos.
Oh, really?
Back to ETH, yeah.
I thought Dragons was his first one. I thought.
I think Anticyclone was before that, wasn't it?
No. It was
He started on Tezos.
Yeah, he started with Dragons. Mapan Dragons is his Genesis, and then he went to Anticyclone. Yeah.
Then that's awesome. I didn't know, like I didn't know that, and that changes everything. Knowing that there is actually, like, we have an example. There is hope that can, other artists can replicate.
I think there are artists out there already that have collectors and whose floor prices are nothing in the realm of, say, a Squiggle or a Fidenza that in the not too distant future can potentially reach that, right? Like there's so few eyes, I think, on the generative art space as it is. It's like a really blossoming little space that I think, I mean, dude, just look at how we see these things on our phones or on our computer screens. Like that just doesn't do it for me whatsoever. I'm so sorry to say, folks. I don't mind having stuff in my background and on my phone. I think that's all cool. But in the end, to me, like, you need to see them up on like a proper, like, framed monitor or display, like which I have, right? Like when you go to Art Blocks in Marfa, when you go to some of the other places, you get to see some of these pieces the way they're meant to be displayed, and they're mind-blowing. And some of them, very few people know, like the story behind the art, whether like squiggles move, all these things that I think once you put them up on a proper frame and display them as the art that they are, you will see some of these sleeper, pieces and artists just blow up because, you are seeing them the way they were meant to be seen for the first time. So I think there's still, I still think there's there's pieces that I don't think should fall off into obscurity from Tezos. I think they are worthy of being ported over somewhere else, whether it's Bitcoin or somewhere else. Like it's one thing to let the chain die. It's another thing to let the art die. Like that would be a shame, because then that would mean that both the artists and the collectors abandoned it.
Yeah,
and that
would feel so bad.
I'm not gonna do that. Like I mean, like maybe some of my dumb shit doesn't make it right from Tezos, but like the stuff that I cherish and I like, with or without permission, I will be porting over for posterity.
I think we're very close to the point where that needs to be a very public conversation. Like guys,
I'm ready, Huda.
I'm all about that. In fact, dude, I might see if we can loop in somebody like Zancan into like a Spaces. I want to get their opinion on it too, because like, man, if we don't do it now, this conversation will be had at some point. It will. It's a really important conversation. We care about their art. We need to make sure it survives.
Potentially could get lost too, right?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. But I'm gonna do my best Q impersonation. So we gonna hop out of art for a second and hop into, and I'm doing this one for Give. Let's hop into Machi being able to raise $40 million in 2 days for his meme token launch. Is this proof of a super cycle for meme tokens?
Oh, you did it. You went there.
Absolute fucking degeneracy is what it is to me. Like, please, people, explain this to me. And I get it. Like meme coins, it's where like the money flows where the attention goes, and Machi generates a lot of attention. I understand the thesis, but like you've done this a couple of times with some other artists or people that you consider being good operators, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like they've kind of struggled, whether it's because Solana is a shit fucking chain and it's impossible to deploy the liquidity pools, or because the person that raised all those millions of dollars didn't even know how to launch a fucking meme coin contract. I don't know. The point of the matter here is that like when I look back at like Machi, and I'm like, bro, he lost money, a ton of money on Blur, whether it was because he got docked the points from Blur or not, or whatever. Like, and then he was gonna do this dating fucking thing, right? Like crypto dating platform, social.
No, I never saw that.
Dude, I think he went up on stages on Web3 and told us all about it. Like this, he was gonna like beat Friendtech. I jokingly probably put the fucking slant that it's a dating app, but maybe like there's some crypto people that need that. Having said that, like this is the guy you're gonna trust with $39 million fucking dollars.
I'll tell you this. So I want to touch on the Runestone thing and like afterwards here, but I just want to say I feel like a fucking idiot because I did buy into that pre-sale yesterday because I'm so out of touch with stuff. I literally did like the definition of FOMOing into something.
Well,
I feel like a fucking idiot.
Well, listen, if it makes you feel any better, I know people that threw like $5K and shit that pre-sale, right? Like, there are people. So it's the whole degenerate crowd, and I say that affectionately. Like listen, man, the money is fucking flowing right now with these meme tokens. I mean, it just is what it is. Look, I'm not the greatest at playing the whole meme token cycle. I get wrecked on a regular. I mean, I've had a few little games, but I get wrecked also. So I'm one of those people. I have to get in with the people in the know and kind of like follow them into trades if that's what I want to do. Right. I'm good when it comes to fundamentals and big brain projects and shit that I think will work in the future. But with this meme cycle stuff, because I can't sit and actually analyze it and figure out the pattern between what makes things pump, other than you just got to catch them when they're early. And you have people that sit on chain all day or sit in front of Dex screen or Dex tools and look at these things launch and snipe all day long that are able to get in and get out. Hey, that's not my game, right? But I saw people like they are throwing money into these pre-sales. Like they did it with Roost, they're doing it with Machi's coin. And there's probably whatever else launches within the next few days. Will probably, because it's been every few days something is launching. Like the games are so addictive. Like I've been sitting in chats and people are like, man, nothing happened today. Like, what the fuck? Send us where the 100x coins popping off today. Like, so it's people had this shit is like crack in the 80s, bro, crack in the 90s. This shit has people hooked. And so it's so crazy to me that people actually gave Machi $40 million. Like, I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it, but I can't believe it. Like, we reached a whole new level of
Man, I mean, you were talking about it yesterday on the show, like that peppermint bot, right? On Solana and what the RPC one also, like
the D's node, yeah.
I mean, you're talking like hundreds of SOL, worth for the NFT that gives you access to these tools so that you can have an edge and like be one of those dudes that snipes the liquidity pool before anybody else, and be able to do all this stuff. I mean, it's turned into like a hyper fucking steroid casino on a goddamn rocket ship. It's
bro,
insane.
Listen, if you want to know how much money these people are printing doing this shit, especially the ruggers that are launching these rugs, I was on the chat today and I was listening to some guys that's been like locked in. Like these people don't even go to sleep. I go to sleep at around 7 p.m. I wake up at 11. And I thought my schedule was fucked up. I go to sleep at 7 p.m. I wake up at 11:30 p.m. Work out from 11:30 to about 3 a.m. in the morning, and then I'm up from then on out. Right, so I probably average 3-4 hours of sleep a night. These people don't get off of the fucking chat. Period. Like, and I literally listened to them all morning while I was getting ready for the day. They said that there was a token. I can't even remember which one it was. They launched it right within a few. I say about 3 or 4 hours. They launched the team held 60% of the token supply. They ran it up. They held it all the way up to $100 million, and then they fucking rugged the whole token back down to like $290,000 from $100 million. All in a few hours. That's a few hours of work, bro. That's a few hours of work.
Yeah. By the way, can I throw something completely random in here, completely off topic, but just top of mind, okay?
Yes,
easy.
Sir.
I don't know if you're doxxed or not, but dude, the Crypto Slam hats, we got them back in stock. I want to get one for you. Could I ship you one? You got somewhere I could ship that to? Let me know, dude. Let me know if
I
you're
need
interested.
a Crypto Slam hat.
All right, I need one too. I'm sitting here like shit. Easy.
Yeah, like why did I not?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you guys why. And in fact, I'd love to do that for you too. It's because he's the only one who's ever asked. And I thought that was cool as fuck. Like, I love the hat. My girls think it's so cringy and embarrassing because, like, they associate it with crypto NFTs. Nobody in the world would, right? It's a fucking lightning bolt. Like, they have no idea. But, like, they're like, don't wear that hat out, Dad. Not today. Whatever. I think the hat is cool as fuck. Easy notice that, too, because it is cool as fuck. Yeah, I'm going to get some hats, guys.
Children.
Nice.
Kids.
Love
Children.
Exactly. What do they know?
Not much.
What do they know?
They're
only out trading the fuck out of us with these meme tokens. That's all.
Dude, I'll even do a raffle for one. That'd be fun. We're going to get some Crypto Slam hats out there. It's just like the bolt is so fucking cool. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for letting me interrupt with that. By the way, okay. Do we want to wrap soon? We're at a good solid hour. I think we're doing well. I had one other quick thing I wanted to bring up. Well, I guess
bring it up. Let's do two.
I want to talk about that Pudgy Penguin story that you shared.
That was it. Okay. Man, can we share screens? GIF, if you're running behind the scenes, I could share my screen if you can pop it up here. How do we do this?
There's a share screen option, no? In the center?
Yeah, I think somebody on the other, whoever's like running the thing actually has to do the actual share. Let me try. I'm going to do it and let's see if GIF will pop it up.
If not, I can read the quick TLDR for everybody.
All right, let's give this a try real quick. I'm going to pop it up here. And GIF, if you're there. Boom.
Or if not,
let's see. Hey!
Hey, give.
Good shit. He's there. This is really, really interesting. So TLDR on this article here. Actually, DP, you wanted this one. Do you want to take it?
Sure. So yeah, NASA data reports that Pudgy Toys prompt over 59,000 new wallets. So it says a leading blockchain analytics firm proudly announced the launch of its Pudgy World dashboard, emphasizing the success of Pudgy Toys built on ZK Sync. According to Nansen data, Pudgy Penguins holders have transferred a total of 10,984 ETH across 5,572 distinct wallets. And since the introduction of Pudgy Toys, over 3,230 ETH has been bridged, alongside a whopping 59,089 new wallets being created, coinciding with the toys' availability across 2,000 Walmart stores. And that's interesting to me because now that's proof, right, that there is an entry or correlation between these toys being on the mainstream and them kind of integrating and bringing people into Web3.
So, okay, so
That's
then
my
I got to
take.
ask, how do we know? I would assume, well, okay, no, I could probably argue this with myself. How do we know those are new people versus Pudgy Penguin holders who I assume are
That's
buying
true.
most of
Gonna
these
say
toys
that.
anyways?
And they
But,
buy how many is it? 59,000 or something?
59,000, yeah.
59,000.
Yeah. So I mean, divvy up 10,000 degens, like, or a couple. I mean, I don't know. You showed us the other day how many fucking Pudgy Penguin toys do you own, Huda?
Oh, dude,
Like
probably
fucking
50.
20?
Yeah.
Did you onboard? Question though, did you scan the barcode?
Yeah.
Did you unload?
Yeah, so one of those wallets is mine. And so it's like, how many of those are just from established
Mhm.
NFT people? It's why when I look at the numbers, like the unique buyers, like we talked about earlier today, when I look at that number, how much of that is still the same people that are just working on other blockchains that they hadn't touched before? So, right, like me trading on ETH, when I go over to Bitcoin, boom, it looks like a brand new wallet, and it is, but it's still me. It's still the same guy who's been here 3 years. So, it's
Yeah,
not
I
perfect.
agree.
I think it would be worth Nansen kind of like doing a deeper dive into the data just to see, right? Because not even to kind of like blow up the numbers or kind of expose the numbers, should I say? Just for us to kind of gauge how successful we're being with onboarding new people in the crypto through these mainstream launches. I would be interested in seeing that, because you all do make a fair point that, and it always should be considered, that how many of these wallets are actually people that are new, that had no familiarity with Web3 before these toys were launched, or kind of just knew about it but hadn't really dipped their toes in the water, and how many people are like, yeah, just let me get my hands on that collection because I'm a DGN already.
Yep.
And just let me set up another wallet.
Well, and I guess my other question is, when they're talking about the bridging of ETH over there, are they referring to these specific brand new wallets too, or are they just saying in that ecosystem over that same period of time? Because I'm just trying to think, what is that ETH is not for Pudgy related stuff, because as far as I know, there's nothing you can spend that ETH on in that Pudgy World ecosystem. So I'm kind of curious why that's being bridged over. Oh, that could be, if I'm not mistaken, is that the chain where you can bridge over your little Pudgies and people were kind of farming like airdrop stuff? I might have some of that mixed up, but I'm just trying to see, how do these new wallets being created for basically a free, NFT product? Why are people moving ETH over? I don't see what you're spending your ETH on over there. So we must go dive a little deeper. We'll follow this one up, I think.
I'm not sure, and I think it's one of those things. They probably still have to build out some use cases for you to even want to spend your ETH. And I think that's going to be the most complicated thing for pretty much all projects that want to do something mainstream, right? Giving people a viable reason to actually want to come over and spend their ETH. If it's not, when we talk about retail products and products that are centered around fun, right? Now we do have, we know the bigger brain DeFi and DPN projects where you got to spend your tokens to or delegate them for governance rights and stuff like that. All of that stuff that people like to call boring, which is, I'll admit, most of it is boring uses, but it's useful uses, right? But for the experience side, the fun, the retail side of the game, it's gonna be interesting to see what people roll out, because I mean, of course you could use it to pay for an experience or something like that, but they're gonna have to get a little more creative to motivate people to actually spend like ETH or whatever tokens
Damn straight.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you, I do have one final. Well, we could wrap on runestones. Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because somebody did request some info on Runestone, so we can.
I'm going to sneak
Oh,
in
yeah.
one question before that, though, if I can.
Go ahead.
Gift, or sorry, not Gift, but Q brought up earlier today that fundraise that Parallel just did, right?
Mhm.
Are there seasons where these raises happen? And I ask specifically because there's like 3 different gaming studios that have had raises. So I see, of course, the Parallel raise, but also Illuvium had a raise too. They had a $12 million raise, and that was just, it looks like, this week. And so did, God, I'm not going to remember the name, but Square Enix last week and this week also invested in some Web3 companies. So why gaming studios all of a sudden getting these investments right now? Like, over these
it probably is. It probably is the funding round season. We're in what we're at the end of Q1. We're going into Q2. This is usually capital deployment season for a lot of VC funds as well throughout, because they have a new fresh round of capital, and they're trying to kind of get out there. And we're on the brink of the bull run, and they understand what's happening with when this bull run comes in, and gaming being one of the biggest narratives that's supposed to pop off during the bull run. I would see it not being as hard to get a few of these Silicon Valley VCs and these other Web3 VCs to kind of come and throw some stacks at you, especially if you've been building, especially if you have a beta or a demo, or you're almost ready to launch and go to market, and have some stuff that they can play. I don't see it being too difficult to get people to throw some money at you in some of these rounds.
So in a way, the same way that you amazing DGens got into base very, very early, right? Mm-hmm. Is this just like an indicator for us? We're seeing these VCs do the same thing, same kind of approach. They're getting into all these gaming ecosystems early.
Well, it depends on what series.
Illuvium's been around for 2 years already.
Yeah.
Like, they've raised before. Like, this is, I think, like probably them extending their runway or needing some extra capital, but it's a little bit. I wonder if it's a down round or an up round. I mean, I'm assuming it's an up round, but like, it's still kind of astonishing me a little bit that it's been 2 years and we still have nothing to show for it.
You always got to take note of what series and what
shit.
What round it is for the companies as well. So you have like pre-seed, which are people that are brand new. You have the seed round, which are people that are still new, but they're a little further along. Then you have the Series A, which are people that are pretty much close to launching, and they've already, they've hit a certain maturity level in their company. Then you have the Series B, C, D, and the strategic round. And the rounds are usually.
And the reason why I ask if it could be a down round, D, is because of that, right? Down round referring to that it raises at a lower valuation than the previous one, right? And it's usually when the company takes a hit because
they need some runway,
that extra runway, and it doesn't have a product or a project yet that they can point to. So maybe that would be an interesting thing to look at. If they get in, at least they're not getting in early so much, Huda, as they're maybe getting in at a discount.
Gotcha. That makes a ton of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I would think that a company like Illuvium, it would be interesting to me if it was a strategic round for expansion, but it probably is, like you said, it's probably a down round or some runway, and also it's speculative too, because they knew that Illuvium had a lot of hype around it at its pinnacle. And I think that they probably think that Illuvium can get back to that, and they probably know some things that we don't, as far as they've gone to the studio, they've seen what they've been working on, and they're like, okay, this is gonna cook when they finally do launch it.
That's it.
And parallel, I could see it being a strategic round for expansion because they've been on fire.
Dude, Huda, did these go down a little bit?
Yeah, they all did. In fact, even Arsic, all those kind of, there's getting to be a little saturation. I can tell you this for sure, because there's been some nice mints over on Bitcoin, people needing to get liquid and having, some of these guys, a lot of guys, multiple runestones. People are looking at these as freebies. Like, I know a few people are like, fuck it, I got to sell one so I can mint this thing. And they don't want to. That's what's super interesting. The people I know who are selling these do not want to part with them. But if this is your way to get liquidity right now, as things did slow down in the past couple of weeks, well, then that's your way to get liquidity. So yeah, the prices definitely have come down, but as far as thoughts on these, and yes, this being the fifth largest market cap for any NFT collection in the world. I want to see a current chart to see, where it ranks today. If it still is 5, I'm going to assume it is. But man, I mean, just the promise of getting a runestone that it's so, or a rune, I should say, a meme coin on Bitcoin that is so widely distributed, knowing that the influencers are all over this project, all over it. They're going to push this like crazy, and that they're ambitious to want to get the rune that comes from this on exchanges. Man, that is a spicy prospect. But check this out, because
hold on,
my brother's been making a list. This is so incredible. My brother's been making a list of projects that are going to be airdropping or whitelisting runestone holders, and this is like half of them so far. Okay, I'm just going to scroll through. I'm not going to give any much context here, but like, okay, you're just going to see project after project who have announcements that, hey, this is coming for runestone holders. Project after project.
Nice.
I've got like probably 15 of these pulled up right now.
And is there a way to see like the holder distribution for these Huda?
Ooh, good question.
Like I've yet to see somebody do some like good analysis tools for ordinals, but I'd be very keen to see like who the highest holder is, and just in general, like to see distribution. Again, like you can attribute many wallets to one particular person, but just to see distribution helps a little bit to me. But yeah, man, because it's like 120, right?
I think it's like 112,000, and let's see if they have it here. 112,000, 81,000 owners. So actually, that's a pretty good distribution at this point.
It is. It is.
Man, wow. I'm really surprised about that. So, okay, so you saw that there, probably like 15 different projects. Again, that's half of the list. I just couldn't open all of them, for right now. There's a lot of perks you're getting for runestones. Dude, one of the most bullish things for me over on Bitcoin. So if that was your thoughts as well, my friend, yeah, we're on the same page.
More than RSIC?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, only because only because Leonidas and the influencer game, you know what I mean? Like, I think between Trevor, Leonidas, all of the big names, the very, very vocal group over on Bitcoin, they all want this one to succeed. Some of them for sure are in RSIC as well, and they're going to push that. But this one, everyone's in. Everyone. If you are trading year one ordinals, you're in here. So it's got everybody covered. So it's wild. Is there staking here?
Yes.
Oshi is showing us some ord data on Runestone. He shared this link with us right now.
Okay.
Looks
Check
interesting.
that out.
Top holder is staked Runestone. Dude, I wonder how many he has.
That's a name. That's not a protocol or something here. Okay. Damn, there's people with thousands of these. Holy cow.
You surprised?
7,000?
There you go.
Wow. I wonder who that is or what that is. Like, could that? Okay.
That's probably Leonidas, no?
Well, Leonidas said.
In Merlin chain.
Wait,
wow.
Say again?
He says 7,000 in Merlin chain. You've heard of Merlin chain before, right?
Yep. And so that's what's interesting to me is, like, Leonidas said, hey, if an exchange wants this, if an exchange wants supply, they got to buy it off you, or they got to buy your runestones. Like, that's the only way that exchange is going to get tokens to, make tradable on their platforms. Dude,
smart. That is nice. That is nice for holders.
Thanks for that share, man.
That's, dude, bookmarking this. Thank you.
That the exchanges have to come to the actual holders to buy. That's crazy. I don't think we've seen that before.
Not quite. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be different than an exchange going and buying some Bored Apes ahead of the ape coin drop. You know what I mean? I don't even know how that worked. If they had a bunch that they had set up. Like, I don't know how liquidity pools were set up for that token, but it is super interesting. I'm not letting go of a single runestone, dude. Not a single one.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also if you could pull that last link up that I shared with you in the private chat, that is the breakdown of Parallel's funding round. So they did a $35 million funding round for undisclosed. So it's undisclosed what series it was in. They've raised over $85 million in total, because they did another undisclosed round in October 2021. So the Spartan Group apparently led the investment round. And so again, like this is pretty much speculation. I speculate that they probably raised as a strategic raise, so that they can keep developing. probably expand the team a little bit, get some more experts on board. And they have a hell of a lot of investors and co-investors,
including Alameda Research.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, pay me back my money.
Wow. Dude, this is great.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of education for our viewers, for those that were interested in it.
That's what you get here. That's what you get. You get the insights. You get the education.
I'm telling you,
you don't get none of that.
Hey man, we bring you knowledge you can't seek in college on this show. Like, listen,
Beautiful.
That's why you guys got to tune in. News you can't refuse, baby, right here.
I like it.
Man, that's amazing, guys. Anything else? Any final words?
I'll let you all go first.
I always feel like there's a big like this is just a me thing. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. There's some big story. Actually, what got me spooked about that is the other day doing the other show, and like there was big breaking news during it or just before that I'd missed. Like my fear is we miss a big story, but I think we nailed it today. So now we're transitioning over to the Diddy story, right? For the next hour. Is that what we're doing?
No. Let's hear it out.
Damn.
We can follow that one up later, Huda.
we're definitely gonna get into that, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious.
A blast like always. How does Q end this thing? Go around the horn. Go around
the quad box.
Quad box. We can even count it. We got 4 up. Even though, wow, that's wild there with those owl eyes. But yeah. DP, what you got?
So again, people, we thank you for joining us. We enjoy bringing you all of this crypto news in this crazy world of meme coin madness, AI madness, fucking RWA madness, fucking NFT madness. You can only get, listen, we're enjoying ourselves, bring you culture, bring you vibes, bring you laughs, bring you smiles, bring you frowns, bring you cries, bring you rants, bring you love. And we're going to continue to deliver as long as you are sticking there with us. So we expect to see you all here again tomorrow at 1:30 or 1 or whatever time we lunch.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Make sure you're there.
Tomorrow's
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
man,
feels like Friday today, but
Yeah.
tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow we can marathon the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Today is
but fam,
I got an idea.
Fam, enjoy and come and vibe with us. Everybody will be here. Q will be here. I'll be here. Gift will be here.
What's that
Big
idea?
will be here. Huda be here, and who else? You never know. We might bring somebody else. Who knows?
Yeah.
Vitalik himself might show up. That's how we are.
I know you're on that, DP. I know you're gonna get him one day. I know it.
I'm gonna get him one day. I'm gonna get his little weird ass on here one day. One day.
I love that weirdo.
And I say that with affection. I would say that with respect, Vitalik, because it's taking you a long way. So again,
don't change a thing.
I'm signing off. Much love to you all, and I pass the ball to either Biggie or Huda, whichever.
I cannot possibly follow that up. I'm just gonna say OVOT, and I'll see you tomorrow, fam.
That's
What's
it.
up, Huda? You said you had an idea for the marathon. I am curious about that.
I don't think it'll fly.
In attempting one.
It's going to be a commitment. I am going to ask GIF and I'm going to ask Q, but I wonder, dude, if we go for the ultra marathon and we have NFT live continue all the way through inside NFTs and we merge it, have a massive Friday show
on a Saturday. I really do want to do a 12-hour stream.
Yeah, I'm down, dude. I'm down. Let's make it happen.
We'll coordinate it. We'll talk about it.
All right, guys. Our Viber Turb.
All right.
OVOT, fam.